Hey guys, welcome back to Bias Bites, but today we're doing something a little different.
You're tuned into our very first Survival Bites episode, special series where we're deep diving into survival shows, giving our reactions and making questionable predictions that may probably shock us later.
Today we're breaking down Produce 101 Shinsekai, which just premiered and already has us a little stressed.
This episode was a whirlwind, for sure, and it gave me every single emotion, but I'm so excited to follow along.
Same here. And today we're going to get into first impressions, standout trainees, and who we think could actually make the final lineup as of right now.
So if you're ready,
It's
showtime.
showtime! On March 26, 2026, Produce 101 Shinsekai, the Japanese series, started airing. So far, we've been able to watch episode 1. If you're not familiar, Produce 101 Shinsekai is a Japanese survival show series where 101 trainees compete to debut in a new global idol group. Through performances, training, and fan voting, viewers help decide the final lineup. With a new world concept, the show focuses on growth, transformation, and the pressure of becoming a next generation idol, while also highlighting the friendships, rivalries, and personal stories behind the competition. Episode 1, we mainly got to see the introduction for the trainees, and they broke into smaller groups to put on performances and got ranked by the judges into A through F class. So today we're going to go over our opinions of the stages, our opinions of the judging, production, that kind of thing. Do you want to start off talking about one of your favorite stages that we saw?
I will start with my top one so far. It's Patofyo wa Akiga desu ka. Pardon my pronunciations on that, but they're all from Hokkaido, which I thought was crazy. This is the one where they started off with the drum and the baton twirling.
Yeah.
They covered one of the judges, Dean. They covered his song "Be Alive." That was kind of cool. I feel like they did that with a couple of songs. It was like a nod to the judges. I don't know if they intentionally did that, but I thought it was cool. This one, they had 5 members, and only one of them really advanced. It was Takumi. He's the one who did a flip, and then they had him play the drums after the song as like a solo performance, just to see his skill set, because they really didn't, I guess, love their rendition of it, which I agree with. It could have been better.
They definitely had an edit where it was like more of their pre-filmed content than their actual stage. I was really looking forward to them, but when I actually got a chance to watch their stage, I didn't feel like their skills held up to the hype it seemed like they were getting.
Yeah, they collectively were not great, but I think individually they each have their own talents, and it's unfortunate because it would have been such a cool thing, like this whole collective from the same place to be at least advancing together for the first episode. But I also feel like the judges' calls, weren't the best, not just for them, but throughout the episode. And I know we're going to talk about that a little later.
Yeah, they were definitely some questionable outcomes, I feel like, as far as from the judges. One of the things, though, I had written down about this group was I wish they had spent more time practicing their song than the special effects. Because anytime I see a group go and do extra things like the drums, the baton, that kind of thing, if they're actual performance doesn't hold up to everything extra, I don't ever think they do well in survival shows. Like they try to stand out with their special skills that aren't singing and dancing. I don't think it usually works out unless their singing and dancing also is top tier.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that's actually something one of the judges mentioned too at some point. It's just it's a great addition, but you can add that later.
Right. Yeah.
I really liked it for what it was. That's what kind of put it at the top for me. There was another one that I got really excited about and then immediately went, oh no. I think you know what one that might have been.
There were a couple like that where I went in with higher expectations and then I was like, oh, oops, my initial read on that was wrong.
Yeah, that happened a few times.
And we'll get into it. I have some notes later on for things that happened like that. The first stage I saw that really stood out to me was Reshine. This was Taiga, Senna,
Yeah.
and Daiki. They did the Japanese version of Pentagon's Shine. I love Pentagon, and so when I heard the song, I was so thrilled. I feel like they had really good energy. I love the song. I think they all sounded good. And this one, the judging really threw me because I thought they sounded good. I really liked them. And I thought Daiki, I'm gonna butcher his name. I thought he not only had a good sound, but I felt like he had a lot of charm. He had a lot of stage presence. They kept panning to him throughout the show, like for his reaction, and he kept standing out to me. So I really thought he was going to get a better ranking.
He ended up getting a B, didn't he? He got B class and then Tiger got
I
the
think I
C.
thought he'd get A. I don't know. They were really harsh. I thought there would be way more A's than there were.
I felt not quite the opposite, but I would switch the two. I really liked Taiga, and I feel like he should have gotten like an A or a B. I feel like B is a fair grade for him. I really liked Keito Daiki. I really liked him, and I thought he was like a C-level performer. Something about it just wasn't perfect enough. But I do think it also did not work in their favor collectively that Yuto, the judge, wrote the rap line in that song. That was
Yeah.
his group. So I think that was the same thing with Dean. It was like a disadvantage because you're performing somebody else's song in front of the person that, wrote the song.
It's always such a big risk to
Yeah.
perform the artist's song or like the producer's song in front of them. But fair. I don't know. I think maybe I liked his presence, like I feel like he is one of those people who stands out. And I usually think that contestants like that do pretty well. Do you want to talk about your next stage, your next favorite stage?
I liked Ren 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 just because it was the three Rens. I think I have like a pattern going of the
I really like
similarity.
them.
I thought they were fun. I thought that was like such a cute thing when they were like asking how they differentiate. He's like, "Oh, he calls me Ren Ren, but I'm Ren," and
Right.
but he said I'm Karen. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. I thought they were so cute. I was a little disappointed that they like only two of them made it. So
Yeah,
the grading
I
was
was
deserved, I
shocked a
think.
little bit on this. Yeah, I did not think that Karen would get an F for
I
sure.
didn't expect that at all.
And so that was surprising. I did really like them. They seem all so different, which I thought was really funny for three people with the same name. And my note on Ren Ren is that he gave Miggy from AT's vibes in that performance. But at this point of the episode, when they performed, I was like starting to get mad at the judges.
That's definitely fair. I think I got hit with that same anger at the 11th performance. It was like just halfway through and I was like, what is the plot here? Like what are you actually
Right.
basing anything off of? Are you being prejudiced or is this like what is the goal? I didn't get it after that.
I didn't get it. But then moving to a stage that the judges loved, and understandably so, I also loved, was the Atlantic Boys, Adam and Utah,
I cried.
doing One OK Rocks standout fit in. Obviously, the producers loved them, especially Adam. They probably had the best vocal performance of the episode. So good. They got a big cut, which is understandable. But I thought it was so funny because they said that they were in Texas and Hawaii. So they were like, oh, and the Atlantic is between Texas and Hawaii. And I'm like, not like closely. Only if you go all the way around the other way.
I guess surrounding Hawaii, like, yeah.
It's the Pacific.
Is it? Oh, you're right. There's my geography lesson
Yeah,
for
the
today.
Atlantic is on our coast and the Pacific is California.
You know how I feel about Hawaii's positioning.
Right. Tracy thinks Hawaii is actually like
It's one of us. It's attached.
the little square on the map. So my note was literally, that's the wrong ocean.
They're so cute though.
They sounded so good.
My notes on this, I literally was like, I wrote down, I said, I will be devastated if they get split up. And then they got split up. And I said, oh, I literally cried.
Adam was the first one to get an A rank, and then Yuta got a B. So they did good.
I don't know why I thought he got like bumped out fully.
He was crying. No, he was upset. But I
That's probably why my
I
brain just
don't
went, oh no.
think it was because of his rank. It's got to be a lot. This must have been hours. I'm sure they like don't really eat. I bet they're exhausted. Their adrenaline's going. They just perform and get judged, and I'm sure it's just like a lot to take in.
I think also to hearing like, your other half, you're only a duo. It's not like there's a bunch of other guys in the same group with them. The other half of your duo is like the cream of the crop, right? And you're just like, all right, I guess I wasn't good enough.
I wonder if that's his take or if he was just like grateful and happy with their rankings because like up until this point, no one had gotten an A. So like his partner got an A. That's incredible. And not a lot of people got Bs.
That is true.
So who knows what he was thinking? Because I took it as he was like crying, like relief, overwhelmed crying.
I hope you're right because I was crying for the other reason
I
wrongfully.
guess we'll never know.
But their harmonies were ridiculous.
So good.
They
Adam's voice is
actually,
so good.
it sounded like it was pre-mixed. It didn't even sound like it was a live performance.
That actually was one of my notes. I was like, this is this edited? Like, did they overproduce him on purpose because they like him?
I don't know. Some
I
people
never
just
know.
genuinely are that good, and it's
Yeah.
rare. It's so rare. I was like, the hair on my arms literally stood up. Like, I got full on chills, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. As I was watching, my note said, if he doesn't get an A, I'm done.
Never watching again.
For real. I was gonna be like, never mind. Did you have any other stages that stood out to you?
I have notes on so many of them. I can give you one that I had high hopes for that stood out to me initially and then broke me.
Okay. What were you excited for?
Well, so first of all, I really liked High Teen's performance of Gooey.
Yeah, that's on my list.
They were so good. Do you want to go over that first, or
Yeah, let's go over Gui because High Teens was Rikuto, Shinsuke, and Toa. They did One and Only's Gui. I thought it was so fun. I really liked Toa. He got challenged twice in the very beginning of the episode when they were doing the like seat challenges.
oh yeah?
I don't love this. This has been like I feel like a newer thing in survival shows, or at least that I've been noticing, is like the first hour is them having to rank themselves and then they just get re-ranked.
I hate that because I've been through that at an actual in my previous job. I had a manager come to me with a paper and said, rank your performance, and then went over everything with his own ranking and why I was wrong entirely. And I said, okay, then don't have me ever do this again. What?
If you're gonna rank me anyway, like let's just get into that. I understand the thought process behind it. First, it does give the boys a little bit more screen time. Maybe we get to see a little bit more of their personalities, but it still just is so like cringy to me. But I thought that Toa was so good. He was a really good sport about his challenges during that first part. And then his rap during the song Gooey, or like just his pronunciation was so good. The judges also seemed to be pretty nice to them. I feel like they got pretty well ranked, and I think it's a lot to do with their stage presence.
Their stage presence was phenomenal. The rap line, I thought they were really cool. They were so cool. And it just had like a steadiness. His cadence was just on beat. It was perfect. And I love that all of them, all three of them got like the B ranking. I thought it was so well deserved.
Yeah, I like that they all got the same rank and like that it was good. So
I'm
we'll
looking forward to
definitely,
them. Hopefully
me
they
too.
all can keep up on that. That's like where it gets dicey though. It's like when they all do well at the same level and then one of them is going to have to fall behind somehow. It's so
I
hard.
feel like though what happens in the shows is they get split up for performances at some point and
Yeah.
just like form new bonds. And I don't know how much the trainees actually know each other when they go into this. So it's an initial connection, but I don't know if it necessarily stays throughout the series.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like you just, you don't know. There's all different people.
Right. They all
But
like are getting to know each other, but I'm sure some of them also have like trained together and they know each
I
other.
they had the one, it was two of the guys who they were in the same group at some point. I can't remember their names off the top of my head,
Yeah.
but he
I'm
got like
only
really
talking
excited.
about it's like
Yeah.
Picus.
Yes. Yes. Pi- Pikas.
Yeah.
That was really cool. He got so excited to see his friend, and I was like, "Oh, maybe they'll get to do something together."
I hope so.
Oh my god, it was followed up
I was
by
gonna say you
not
had one that
such.
you didn't like so much or took you by surprise.
Can you guess which one it was?
It came after High Teens.
It did. It did.
Who was it? Do you remember the name of the group?
It's Tanatoba performing my second favorite TXT song, Can't Stop, and
Oh my
I
gosh, you didn't like it?
screamed. I screamed. I was so excited initially. I'm not gonna say I hated it. I appreciated their fresh approach, and I was grateful that they didn't try to do the high notes. They didn't try to harmonize the same way, and they made it their own, which is what I liked about it.
I
They
was
didn't
gonna
do
say I
that.
actually commend them for doing a version that they could solidly
Yes.
perform.
It's a hard song. The
Oh my
dancing was
gosh, this is
great.
one of my top songs. Okay, I had the opposite because I went in with super low expectations because Shin Hyun
He's in my list to be
so
in my top.
nervous.
He was brand new. He's a baby. He has
But
no
he's
experience.
not. He's not. Because at the end, he was like, I've actually trained. I went to a performing school or whatever. I was like, what the heck? He was so talented. I was like, why were you so nervous? Because you're actually so good. At first, I was surprised they put him in with seasoned idols. But then hearing him sing and seeing him perform, I was like, okay, no, like they're not carrying him. They all felt like a pretty even match, I would say.
That's what I didn't get though, because he came in basically saying that I have no experience. And then he just like ripped that whole performance. And I was like, hello?
So
Where
good.
did you
And
come from?
then yeah, I loved this stage. I thought the TXT song was good. Then Shinhyun's vocal showcase was good. And then Hyun sung the lyrical dance. I got
God,
goosebumps.
it was
Oh my
so good.
gosh, so
My hands
good.
could never ever do what he just did. I was like, what is that? Amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love this stage. I can't believe you didn't enjoy it. I get
That's
so
not, no,
like I
no.
know TXT is one of like your top groups, but
I think I'm a purist when it comes to certain things, and I think it was the not singing of the actual original lyrics or like the way that the vocals are. That's what chopped it for me. But everything else was so good. It is on my top. It's not like it wasn't my least liked thing. It's in my top. It's my lowest in my top, but only for that reason. Everything else was so good. And Shinhang, he's like in my top list to be like, please make it to the top because
yeah,
wow.
I thought they all did really good. Well, the only other in my top five we haven't talked about yet was earlier in the show, Buzz Up. They did a song by 10 Feet, but this was Goten, Keisuke Ho, and Yusai. I thought it was a fun stage. Definitely wasn't my favorite stage performance-wise, but I think Goten, his jump is really, really cool. That was awesome. I think him and Yusai had really good energy and they were the top two in this performance for me. And I think the ratings reflected that. That Yusai and Goten, they really kept the energy up as the performance went on. I know you liked, is it
Yeah.
Ko?
Goten's in my top, actually. Ko was in my top hopefuls, and then I thought they were going to give him a chance because they bumped him to F to try to give him more idol characteristics.
So, if you aren't watching the show and you're just listening, what happened was trainees ranked A through D got to move on to episode 2, and then trainees who got ranked F, they had to do 30-second promo videos and they were voted on, and only the top however many to make it so that 101 trainees moved on
I think it
made
was
it
like
through.
16
It
or
was
so.
16, I think.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the episode, they announced which trainees are moving forward in F class and which ones were eliminated. And Ko was eliminated, but I was kind of like upset because it felt like his energy dropped off. Like I feel like when he picked up the guitar, or like it was right before he picked up the guitar, his energy really seemed to just dip. I'm like, you could still have facial expressions, you can still show energy. I know as a musician, it probably feels really like cringy and forced to look super hyped while you're playing an instrument, but it's not a rock band, it's an idol group. Like, you have to match the energy of everybody dancing around you.
Well, and that's what the judges' whole point was. They liked it. They liked that he had that experience, and they were like, "We're going to give you this in hopes that we can instill idol qualities and you can
Yeah.
learn." Hopefully, he's able to still pursue that, or if he just even goes into like a J rock band, that'd be great because he looks like he's so talented. He seems like he wanted it. The fact that he was even there, says a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful for him. I think I'm going to keep an eye out for him in the future in other projects.
I definitely was thinking the same thing. Like, I hope he ends up debuting in a group that maybe makes a little bit more sense for him.
Yeah. There's other shows.
Yeah. Well, and like maybe even like Steel Hearts Club kind of show, like how they do for like the J rock, K rock groups would be cool.
Yeah.
I did just want to do a special mention to both the groups who did the XG woke up stages.
Oh my god.
I thought both were great. So they didn't make my like top 5 necessarily, but I really liked them both.
Runway and Arawan.
Yeah, I really like both takes. I thought Arawan had stronger like vocals and really good charm.
Yes.
But
Yes.
for Runway, I liked the choreo better, and I thought like half of the group did really, really good, and the other group was like fine. The judges agreed because they judged this group actually, I feel like, fairly.
I felt like Runway, they first showed them in the intro to the show. I went, "Oh my god, they're so tall," because they're all so tall.
So tall.
And I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." But they started off on the song really strong. But the first rapper was great, and then I felt like their energy
That's
just
Giuseppe, and
yeah,
he is my
he's
one pick.
Italian and
He's my
Japanese.
favorite. He's
It's
my
so fun.
favorite.
He got a lot of, like, screen time in, like, the beginning of the show.
I was happy. He was my candidate who I was the most interested in from just like their little promo videos and things like that. And you never know with these kinds of shows if they're going to actually be good at what they do. So it's like you go based off of vibes and then you have to wait to see them perform to see if they're actually like a good pick. And so I was so happy that he did so well on this stage.
I'm excited for him. I know you've been really excited about Giuseppe, so
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, they did so
Giuseppe,
good."
I really hope he makes the final lineup, but we'll see.
Did we talk about West Kids at all?
No, they covered the NCT Wish song, Wish.
I loved Yoshiki. He's in my top. His voice, I was just like, okay, like super, super duper stable, which is incredible. The rest, I was like, the performance was okay. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't my favorite, obviously, but it was not terrible. What did I said about Sora? I feel like the judges made some really weird calls on this. This is where I went, what are they playing at now? Because I feel like it was him and Psy, I think.
Yeah, like
Why would
weren't good,
they
right?
yeah, it's just in any other earlier performance in the show, they would have immediately been like, "No."
I don't think they're better than other people who got voted out. I only liked Yoshiki from this group. His voice is so good, but the other ones don't seem ready, and it feels like he carried the group a little bit.
And I hope that, Sora is able to improve and work his way up a bit in the rankings. They've kept him there clearly for a reason. I hope it's not like a humiliation reason, because I feel like that tends to happen in these shows. Like, you have to keep some bad ones, right? So I
I
hope
don't
he's not
know.
like thoroughly bad. It could also just be like a first performance shitters thing.
Yeah.
I know it can't be easy. I couldn't do it, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, actually, because he was definitely one of the trainees that surprised me. Seeing the group and like hearing them, I didn't expect to hear someone who sounded like that. It was Yoshiki, and the other trainee that really surprised me was Archer from
I
Idols.
Archer's in I think he's actually my number one pick.
Is he? I
It's
really
yeah, it's
like him.
Archer and Adam in that order.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting as much, I think, from him. I don't know whether it was the fact that they were like three English speaking contestants, like from the US or like what, but he was by far the strongest contestant out of that group, skills wise. And his voice and stage presence definitely took me by surprise, like in a good way.
I wasn't expecting any of his performance, but I really liked that he did like the whole archery thing and like the shooting the
It's
hearts or
so
kisses.
cute.
He was adorable. He seems like he just has like a really good genuine energy. I feel like he's going to end up being a leader a lot.
That's the vibe I got too.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where he ends up in this. Is he going to be our Sangwon for this season?
I think the Atom or Yura. We haven't talked about Abe Yura a lot, but I kind of have a feeling he might end up being like one of the top contestants that like stays at the top.
I'm trying to remember which. I know I had him in a note and I can't find which.
He was the like position one in the signal song. He was
Okay.
at the end of the performances in Peekaboo.
Okay,
So
yeah,
he was part of Pick Us with Hyunseung and Kotaro. They're literally the last performance. It was
yeah.
him and one other former member of his group as well.
I just put down in my notes that they were like pretty well synchronized.
Yeah,
That was really
which
great.
makes sense, right? They've performed together before. I also had trainees that surprised me in a bad way, unfortunately. The Soulmates group, I thought they were hyping them up so much.
This is where we had like the same notes and I was like, okay, like I'm not crazy for feeling this way.
Yeah, they got a pretty good amount of time as far as their pre-recorded content and like hyping them up there. And then they were just so mid. Like they just were like fine, but not great. And so I expected a little bit more.
I felt bad that Jungkook was the only one that got to advance, right? It was him and they did with Junhoon. Wait, no. This is where they followed out Hyunjae and he was like crying.
Yeah,
That's I got annoyed with that because that was just like you didn't have to do that. It just felt disrespectful and I don't like that. I feel like and that's my big gripe with like reality shows like this. I understand the point that it drives, but it's also just like they were too in his face. It could have been from a bit of a distance.
the only member that survived from this one was Jungkook with a C, and the other two didn't pass. And so that was just like, I don't know, like not a great section of the show. My other like surprise factor was the career high group, how they were like, oh, and a police officer. I was like,
They started off cute. That giant heart in the beginning was like they all had their arms formed into a big heart collectively, and I thought that was really cute.
it was like, I felt like they were cute and like they had good stage presence, but just the performance like wasn't there.
No, it definitely was not. They all got D's.
Did you have any opinions on any like controversial rankings?
Not so much, just where I had mentioned maybe like swapping out like one for the other, and it was Taiga and
Oh yeah,
Daiki.
I know I mentioned earlier, I was so upset with Ren's ranking for Ren Ren Ren. I thought he was way better than others who passed, so I was like not stoked on that. And then also Jaehyun, they gave a D, and I feel like he was better than the other contestants they gave a D for. I watched a lot of the promo videos for the contestants, and I really wanted to root for Michael Min and Patrick from the Angels group. Their skill level was not there. I actually really agreed with the judges' vote on this one.
I was actually shocked that there were so many like global contestants. Adam, Tristan, Patrick stand out because of their names. They feel out of place.
I definitely felt like at some points the judges were putting the global appeal over actual skills when it comes to the idols. I actually was very pleasantly surprised that Michael and Patrick got fair rankings in my eyes based off of their performance. But they literally at one point told someone that they were impressed with the fact that he could speak so many languages.
Was it he spoke 4 languages, I think.
Yeah, which I understand is a great skill to have as an idol. I don't think that that's like what we're supposed to be worried about. Like first episode of a survival show.
That was that Adam?
Was it Adam? No, I don't think so.
'Cause I think he said he could like greet in 4 languages, and it wasn't like he was super fluent. It was like
Yeah,
Thai, Korean, Chinese, and
Japanese.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember which idol it was, but I thought that that was kind of crazy. I feel like I was kind of with the judges on the one for the angels. So, how I feel like they're maybe editing them, how they're skewing this a little bit. Like, they are kind of giving more time to the global contestants for sure.
I wonder if they're doing that for like votes appeal
Yeah.
because it is. They said it's 30% it counts as,
Which is less.
but I think it's just to bring in the viewers so they can say like, oh, like you have so many people, wherever else in the world rooting for you.
They're really trying to get the views like from global viewers.
I think considering like K-pop's general positioning in the world, like I know this is Japanese, but I it's a good advantage. And I think that there are so many more people, even just like within the past year, that are like looking into, other like non-Western, if you're from over here, like non-Western cultures now. It's much more than it was.
I just hope they don't end up like keeping them around just for views and not actually voting in the people who deserve it more a little bit talent wise. Because I was even thinking, like, you could tell that the production team loves Adam and like, no shade because I do too. I'll be shocked if he doesn't make the final group at this point, but Abe Yura was like position 1 for the signal song and he got way less screen time than Adam or even some of the groups who didn't end up making the cut. And so I was just so shocked because they had released the signal song prior to releasing episode 1. I definitely thought we were going to see more of Yura like throughout the whole episode. So I was a little shocked once I watched, like realizing how little he was shown. And then there's other idols like I really liked Kato as far as like his promo video and he has absolutely no screen time. His performances must have been one of the ones that they just glazed over. You don't see him
Isn't that no Keto Daiki from
with the
Reshine?
long hair. No, I definitely noticed because he was one of the ones I was most looking forward to and I got through the performances and I was like, "Oh, like I didn't see him."
So I'm just going back through the performances list. And like I'm bad with names and faces, so I'm like trying to follow on like the specific names. I did not get a chance to watch any of the promo videos, so I just went into the episode.
And saying that you're bad at names, do you want to read off your top 12? Because right now, until mid-April, you can go to the Mnet app to vote for your top 12 contestants.
I have a top, I believe it's an 11. I think
Okay, so let's hear your top 11. Are they in order? Because mine aren't in order.
mine are not in order.
Okay, perfect.
The first two are. My top 11 is Archer, Adam, Yoshiki, Yuki, Osuki, Oten, Kanari, Giuseppe, Keito Daiki, Iga, and Shinhyang. And then I have Ricky as a bonus only because I don't know if you caught on to this, but he reminded me so much of Hugh Changjing from Boys to Planet.
I think it's the long blonde hair, right?
Yeah, and he made a comment about being sexy, and I was like, okay, you're the same person.
We're
What is
back.
happening? I just had
That's
like a
funny.
flashback, so I threw him at the bottom of my list as like a +1.
I love that.
What about yours? I'm curious to see who you chose for your top lineup.
My top 12, it's Giuseppe, Adam, Hyunsung, Archer, Goten, Koren, Daiki, Yoshiki, Johan, Yusai, Toa, and Abeira.
Let the best men win, I suppose.
I know. I'm curious to see how many they're going to end up debuting in the group.
I thought that he had said 12.
Is it going to be 12?
I don't know. That's what I thought. Yeah.
I'm sure this will change too. Like my first initial rankings are not usually who ends up being in my top. Usually my like top couple picks will make it like to my end if they stay in the show, but like this definitely can change. Sometimes like you like someone episode 1 and then they do something episode 2 that rubs you the wrong way or
Or are you talking about Rui?
okay. Okay, so Tracy, who are you thinking is going to change in ranks? Who do you think is rising? Who's falling? What's your take on like kind of the direction that everybody's going in?
I want Goten to succeed. I want him to do well. I have a feeling he's not going to stay where he's at. I feel like his ranking's going to change. I don't know why. I just have like a gut feeling. There's nothing in particular pointing to it. But I
Just
mean,
like
that's the way it
intuitive,
goes. Yeah, like you can't have everyone win all the time. So
right?
just something I feel like I really like him. I liked his energy. I liked his whole Dragon Ball Z thing. That was fun.
That was cute.
I'm here for it. But I don't know. I hope he maintains the energy. I hope it stays, but you never know. My rising, I have Rui, who's already getting into some trouble, it
As
seems.
rising.
Rising. I mean, you hopefully he wants it enough to not get worse from here, but they already have a suspension of his focus cam for bad behavior.
Yeah, I was looking at like what the points could be for, and it's like being late, going on social media,
An
that
act of
kind of
leaking
thing.
information related to the program is insane. Like, don't I'm sure they have to sign some sort of document, like an NDA or
That's why he's
something.
suspended.
It's so crazy.
Did you see like until when?
It says March 28th midnight until March 31st Tuesday midnight. So
Okay.
he'll be in the next episode. It's just docking him from the focus cams. So it says the penalty in accordance with the regulations, the release of the theme song's focus cam will be suspended. So I guess he's just cut from the intro for a bit. I don't know.
I wonder if they're gonna end up cutting him, because to be so honest, like if they're already breaking rules, I feel like that's not who you want to see in the end lineup.
100%, but then the other, like my positive brain is like maybe he'll realize he made a mistake
Hmm.
and maybe he
Like
wants
course
this bad
correct.
enough. Yeah, like maybe he'll course correct, he'll self correct, and if not, maybe this whole thing helps him grow as a person. I mean, who knows? It's kind of crazy. It's so soon. It's literally the first episode just came out. Like, how is this already where you are? So I, in being hopeful, want him to be on my rising list.
I like that.
What
I
about you?
had Yura and Kotaro as rising, hopefully. I just feel like I feel like more well-known trainees. Obviously, they already had debuted, so I'm sure they have a fan base voting behind them. So I hope they're on the rise. I don't really know about falling. To be honest, from episode one, I couldn't really pinpoint who I think the producers actually liked, except for Adam. And I can't see him falling. I think he's too talented to start falling in ranks, at least for now. We have seen in other survival shows that really strong vocalists don't always make the final lineup. For the first season of Boys Planet, Jay Chang is like one of the top vocalists that really stuck out to me. And I think to a lot of people. And he didn't end up making the debut group, Pete Zero Base One, I could see a lot of similarities. He also was a global idol who had really strong vocals and was really popular in the first, I would say, half of the first Boys Planet season. So I really hope that we don't see Adam fall because he is in my top pick, but you never know for sure.
I feel like that's fair. And coming back before to what we were talking about, how the judges, their decisions, like you can't really tell what they're basing them on. It's kind of confusing, this far in. So hopefully we'll get more definition and be better able to kind of see the trajectory of things.
Judging off of episode one is so hard because it really is like you only see a couple minutes of each trainee perform. You only get to see such a small snapshot that can't be indicative of their whole potential, in my opinion. Some of them, I'm sure, shone brighter than maybe they will going forward. And then the opposite, I'm sure, is true for a lot of them, where they will end up performing better as time goes on. So I always feel like the first episode is fun to watch, but doesn't always indicate anything of what's to come. Once we really start seeing them break into groups, having to learn choreo all together and follow direction and work as a team. I think once they start doing the challenges, we'll see a lot better who maybe has more potential.
I think that's fair. I mean, you kind of have to hook people in some way. So
Yeah, like you have to start somewhere.
I'm excited for whatever comes. I'm curious.
We're gonna end each one of these survival bites episodes with just like a quick little check-in of kind of like our top picks. So Tracy, out of all of the idols that we watched perform on episode 1, was there anyone who really hit like a chord in your heart? Like who are you trying to protect at all costs?
Adam and Archer, I think more so Archer. Adam, I think no matter what, he will be successful. You know, he's got the whole American reality show behind him. He's got international thing, the global thing going for him. So I feel like he's fine.
They both
Archer,
do.
yeah, it's just, I don't know. He's a little different. He comes off a little different.
For sure.
So I'm protecting him at all costs. He's my top pick.
I love that.
I really like all of them, all of my top 11 plus one. But if I have to pick,
I feel so like protective over Hyunsung. I don't know. I am so afraid that they're going to evil edit him, and I really hope I'm wrong. But I saw some like foreshadowing of the Picas group and how one of the other members said like, "Oh, we haven't talked to him since our group disbanded," basically. And then in the preview for next episode, you see them having like a heart to heart kind of conversation, and we've all seen how Mnet loves to edit and like pit trainees against each other. He just seems so talented, and I really hope he makes it, if not into the debut group, at least really far. And I hope we don't see him get like a bad edit going forward.
I think that's fair. I don't love the evil editing. That really, I think I said it earlier too. It really irks me. I don't
Yeah.
like when it's like you're trying to sway the public's opinion one way or another. I get it's like a catchy thing. It's trying to hook people back in or keep them interested. I just feel like there's better other ways.
It's like a fine line between getting people emotionally invested and then like manipulative editing, like the soulmates edit you talked about earlier, where they're literally crying walking outside the building while they're leaving. I
Yes,
thought was diabolical.
I couldn't stand it. I was so mad. So
Yeah.
mad.
And so I hope we don't see that happen to anybody, but particularly I'm feeling so like soft-hearted for Hyunsung that I hope that he gets just shown in the right light. You never know what's actually happening behind the scenes, and you don't know like actually all of their conversations or anything like that, but I hope that they don't just like pick and choose the parts they want to show to create a narrative.
Yeah, like they even Boys to Planet was like my first reality show, and they kind of like they went back throughout like, you know, future episodes. They were going back and showing things that had happened that they hadn't shown in the episodes as they were happening, I guess.
Yeah, like they'll add previous footage to add more context or to develop a plot line or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for, you know, all good things. I didn't watch next week's kind of like preview. I don't like spoilers, so I was like let me just take it as it comes.
One of my favorite things about watching survival shows is that you do get to know the trainees more and you'll see their personalities and you'll get to know more. Obviously, we're not memorizing 101 names off the bat. When it starts getting to like 20 people, it's a lot more manageable to remember who's who. But we'll see who starts sticking out to us like in each episode, I feel like soon.
100%. I feel it's easy to start with like your favorites, right? Like the people that stood out, you know who they are. There's just so many people. So
I
I know
know,
it'll get
it's
easier as it goes
overwhelming.
on. It's like fun though. It's so much fun. And anyone who's listening to this who hasn't watched any of the reality shows, whether you're just not a reality show person or you think you're not, I thought I was not. I have never been into reality TV and I am actually kind of quite invested in
I love how we end up
a shot.
like going into debut with a good understanding of the group. I think watching a survival show and then going into like pre-debut content and then watching a group actually debut, I think is a really fun process. And I really like when you are seeing that first song, first stage, like you know the people and you feel just more invested. And I know that's the whole point. I know that's why they do these survival shows.
That's how I feel about Alpha Drive 1, right? Like, it took me how long just to memorize any members in any established groups, and I just couldn't do it. Everyone was Subin. I couldn't differentiate anybody's name or face. Watching Boys to Planet with Alpha Drive 1, kind of exactly that. Like, you kind of get to know them a little bit, and it's easier to follow, and it's easier to remember things and who they are and what they do. So it's nice to build that from the ground up with a group. You feel more a part of the fan base, I think, than anything.
It does. It makes you feel a lot more connected, I feel like, to the group and the fans.
It's nice. It's fun.
All right. Well, I know we don't know all of them yet, but if you had to pick your one pick at the moment, the one trainee that it would just break your heart if they got eliminated, who would you pick? Just one.
Adam.
Adam.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a good pick. Your one pick for Boys to Planet was Sangwon, and you had a good read on that. So I feel like
Yeah.
you're going to be right this time too.
It's like an energy thing. I don't, between him and Archer, like I know I said earlier for protecting at all costs was Archer, it's something with the energy. It's like you can perform, you have the personality, there's just something that emanates from within them, and I think I'm pretty good at picking up on that with people sometimes, more often than not. And that's kind of like the whole like leader thing, or like the hopefully like running leader number one would be one of the two of them, because they just seem to have that well-roundedness to them.
For sure.
But who are you choosing? Who's gonna wreck you if they get cut from the team?
Giuseppe. And he's not getting cut. I'm putting it into the universe, manifesting now. He's going to
There's no
make
way.
the final
He's
group.
too unique. I think he's too unique to.
I just, I love a rapper, and I feel like I always have an affinity towards the like, foreign idols. I heard him say at one point, like, "Oh, if this was in English, I could do it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, so you're is that your first language? What's going on?" So,
I caught that too, and I kind of had the same reaction. I was like, what does he mean by that?
yeah, but
I
he's my
think he did
favorite.
so well.
Me too. I'm so glad.
Fingers crossed for Giuseppe.
Fingers crossed for Giuseppe.
They're so fun. I can't wait till next week.
I know. So our next episode is going to be our regular, normal Bias Bites updates show. And so in 2 weeks, we'll be catching up on episodes 2 and 3 of Produce 101.
That's so much produce.
So much produce.
Thanks for tuning in to our first Survival Bites episode. We'll definitely be back with more reactions and predictions as the show continues.
Because there's no way that we're not talking about each episode.
Absolutely not.
If you guys are watching Produce 101 Shinsekai, we want to know, who are your top picks right now?
And who are you protecting at all costs?
You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Bias Bites Pod.
And if you have longer thoughts, hot takes, or want us to react to your rankings, you can email us at hello@biasbitespod.com.
And we might feature them in a future episode.
Don't forget to follow, rate, like, and subscribe to Bias Bites wherever you're listening.
And we'll catch you in the next Survival Bites. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.